Good
right.
day, everyone.
Yeah.
I guess we should say welcome to the Power of Three. There's myself, Mary Helm, Kim
I'm
Sale,
Kim Sales. Yeah.
And I'm Tamara Steffan.
and Lynn is presenting today. So we've got the Power of Three, and our first guest is Tamara. Welcome, Tamara.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Thank you
Good.
for inviting me.
Absolutely.
I saw it on Facebook and I thought, well, I want to go.
Right. So it's interesting, Tamara, because I brought these two other lovely ladies together with me to form the Power of Three because, as we've learned in some of our coaching, right, and through Creatively Fit coaching, that um, we're here to share and ripple and really get this message out about mindful creativity and intuitive creativity. And I had this idea. I thought, oh, I'm going to pull a couple of these great coaches that I know together, and we're going to become this sisterhood and just share whatever knowledge comes through to us. And the first thing that came through to me was I need to form three people to talk about the foundations of the triangle and the Power of Three. So that's what brought us all together. And thankfully, Lynn and Mary said, yeah, I'd love to try it. Let's be a part of this and get this going. So that's why we're here. And we're going to, this is recorded, right? So we'll be sharing this and the actual recording as well. So would you like to say something now, Lynn, and kick her off for us?
What the amazing thing was is that when Kim invited Mary and I to join in on this, is that she was initially leading off with the Power of three coaches. And I said, well, why don't we take it and actually use the whole energy of three? And the more that we dove into the energy of three, we found out how much we had already all had our own personal symbol that was related to the number three. And our tarot was not, I'm a number three in the tarot. And all of these coincidences just started to unfold with every meeting that we had.
Mhm.
We were already embodying the power of three, and we hadn't even really known it yet. And it just was so beautiful how it was unfolding, and was like, okay, we have to do this. We have to come together and create this program where people can understand how these symbols and the information and guidance that we get can lead us on this amazing journey, and if you just go with it unfolds so magically, just go with the magic. So my symbol is the triangle, and I've been working with it, and it's shown up in my life for a long time. First of all, it started showing up for me in rocks. I kept finding these rocks that were pyramidal, kind of like a pyramid, and I don't know why. I just felt drawn to them. There was just something about the stability of it, the strength of it. Um, and then any kind of crystal that was that shape. Uh, so I have my board back here, and I wanted to kind of touch on some of this is just a tip of the iceberg, which can be like a triangle shape, but this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we can glean from the shape and the energy of the triangle. The triangle is the strongest structural shape that we have. A lot of the bridges and structures that are made are from that, and the pyramids, are an exaggerated form of the triangle, but they're so strong and grounding. No matter how much force you put on a side of it, it's not going to crumble. It's going to hold its shape. And if we can use that for ourselves as a practice of reminding us that, and we're strong and we're resilient, and we can use this triangle shape and put it around ourselves when we are meditating. So right now I'm going to invite you to please put your hands on your heart, and I'm going to kind of guide us in a little bit of a meditation here with this triangle. So tune into your heart and close your eyes, and I will be hitting my singing bowl here. This is 1 for the mind. 1 for the body. And 1 for the soul. Now I would like you to focus on your breath and your heart. And I would like you to breathe in for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Now open your eyes. You're connected to your heart and you're centered in this pyramid with this triangle breath. Doesn't that feel better? You can do that throughout the day and just take a little break throughout your day, or anytime you start to feel any tension or anxiety. Visualize a triangle or a pyramid around you, and you're sitting really strong in your body, sitting up tall in your body and feeling yourself grounded into the earth, pulling in the light from above with every breath that you take, holding that in your center, and then expanding it out on the out breath in this triangle. Okay, so you're inhaling for 3, you're holding it, and you're exhaling for 3, and then you're inhaling again. Okay, creating this pyramid, and you're in the middle of it. And if you're touching your heart and you're connecting to that center space, and the connecting to your heart isn't just by happenstance. I wanted to direct you to your heart chakra, which is the 2 interlacing triangles, which is connected to Divine Father and the Divine Mother coming together to create this hexagram. This hexagram is connected to unity of all of the elements. All of the elements are inside of this hexagram right here, which is a cool connection. All of the elements of air, fire, earth, water are all triangles in different positions with a line. And they're all in this symbol right here, which is in you. You're carrying all of those elements within you. Isn't that fabulous? And the upward triangle represents the male, which is the positive, and the downward facing triangle is the female, which represents the negative. So those polarities coming together. And when they come together, the divine masculine and the divine feminine come together, they create you. And you are that center dot in the middle, inside this, radiating that out. Isn't that fabulous? I love that. So I love, journeying into these sacred symbols and how much they can teach us. I know that most of you here are creatively fit coaches or in training, and I want to give a little bit of a background for those who may be viewing this in the future that don't know anything about creatively fit coaches. I'm a creatively fit coach, and so are the other 3 guides that are working together here in this collaboration of the Power of 3. And we like to help people connect to the inner artist that is within them, and to share an understanding of the benefits of creativity and having a personal creative practice, and how much we can benefit from having that practice. I love that being creatively fit and understanding creatively fit can branch out into so many different branches and discoveries. Because when you understand that you are a creator being, once again, you understand that and have that inner wisdom, you then start to have an inner inquiry into yourself and the inner workings of yourself. You have slowed down, you've allowed having a creative practice to open you up to asking those questions about yourself. You can take the initial wonderful benefits that creativity offers you by reducing stress and helping you to problem solve, to relax, to boost your memory. There's just so many benefits to having a personal creative practice. But then it opens up and can be what I like to call choose your own adventure. You can then go deeper down the rabbit hole with your spiritual practice, combining it with your creative practice, and you can discover the spiritual symbolism, and you can discover more about your intuitive gifts and abilities because you're slowing down and listening to that inner voice. You can join with others, like I have joined here with Kim and Mary, and you can realize that there is a connection with these symbols and how they show up for us that actually is taking you on a journey of expansion. So that's kind of how it goes. I feel that being creatively fit is a journey of self-initiation, and you get to decide on where you want to go with it and how you want to use it. And we are just here to show you and point you in the direction of making that connection to the infinite creator being that you are, and you get to decide how you're going to use your artistic ability and your creative tools to create the life that you love and add to the light of the world. Because, for me, I believe that we are creating a new paradigm and a new world to be living in. And I want to be the best creator that I can be for my life experience, because I know that when I improve my life, my experiences, that I'm adding to the light of the world, this collective light that we are all weaving together. And that by using creativity, we are actually opening up to these beautiful divine resolutions and solutions to all the problems that are surfacing all over the planet. I use my creativity as a way of meditating, of connecting to my inner guidance, to receive insights, and I also use it to express myself and process trauma or pain. These are some of the benefits that I've received personally from my creatively fit coach training and my personal painting practice. But going deeper into the triangle and how much this triangle is like weaving its way through history and our collective subconscious or unconsciousness. The Sri Yantra is one of the oldest yantras, if not the oldest yantra in Hinduism or Indian religions. And they say that it's the mother of all yantras. And it's it's on my shirt. It's 9 interlacing triangles, and it's connected to the divine goddess, divine mother. And some say that the actual sound of Om resonates from this sound of creation. Om comes out of this mantra, which I find fascinating. I chant Om throughout the day with my spiritual practice, the group that I meditate with. one of the leaders of that group says that Om is so powerful that it actually restores this distortion in the fabric of reality. I mean, if you want to go down the rabbit hole for a second here, is that each one of us is a cell in the body of creation. And if all of us are resonating this super high frequency and chanting Om, we can start to create and be the change in the world that we want to be just by chanting Om throughout the day. It's adding to that light. Once we reach the 51%, there's going to be a huge shift here that's going to be miraculous for all of us. But that's just going down the rabbit hole a little bit, and which I love to play down. But if that's not your cup of tea, there's so many things in the world of creatively fit coach, or creatively having a creative practice that will you can benefit from. I want to invite you guys, if you have your paper and pencil or art materials, to take the triangle and make your own yantra or mandala using the triangle. I'd like you to connect to your inner strength, your inner goddess, god, goddess, and create a yantra that is going to help empower you and your life and your goals and aspirations. If you want, add words in your mandala that will help you as a visual guide to remind you of what you are wanting to create, and place it somewhere where you can see it as a visual reminder of, yes, that's where I want to be going. It's like taking an a bow and arrow and pulling it back and having that focus of where you want to be going. I know that throughout the day we have all these things that can kind of pop up in our day and throw us off our center, and we forget, and we can kind of get spun out in the drama of others around us. That's why these symbols are so important. They help to remind us and, like, okay, wait, I can pull myself back out of that and center myself back in on where I want to go and what I want to do for myself. And having these tips and tools in a toolbox to be able to navigate these energies and situations that pop up throughout our day, it's important to be able to pull yourself aside and use this triangle breath. And if expand it. If you're doing the triangle breath for a count of 3, take it up, double it, go to 6. I feel more comfortable because I've been doing a lot of breath work that I take mine to 6. And that takes me really into a very deep state very quickly. And it doesn't have to be more than maybe a couple rounds of it. And you're back centered again in your space. Now, when you get centered back into your grounded state, then you're able to then shine from your center, from your heart center, and create from that space instead of creating from the hectic part of yourself. So I'll take it back again to that we're all cells in the body of creation, and we all want to create a better world. Well, we need to get into this center space to be able to create without distortion. We want to create from those higher aspects of balance and harmony and unity, right? Those are the attributes of the triangle: strength, balance, harmony, unifying, resiliency. These are all so powerful for us to be embodying in ourselves and living from that perspective, and taking it into your creative practice to where you can really start to make a journey on it. Where is this triangle shape going to take you? Where can it take you? What can you discover more about yourself and the world around you? The other cool thing is that when you, this is how I use it. I get myself into with my triangle breath, or I double it to 6. I center myself in my heart. And then after I've gotten myself calm and centered, I take it to my third eye, which is another triangle. And through my third eye, I then envision the life that I want to create for myself. So without even using a paintbrush, I'm using my third eye to then paint the image of what I want for the world, for my family, for, you know, so many situations that we can do. But in order for us to create beautifully, we need to be heart-centered and calm. And, you know, so having these practices can really help us to do that. One of the ways that I worked with the triangle last week and thinking about the fabric of reality, I took my art journal and just took very thick paint and just created these stripes of like rainbow. And then I took my a mark making and just started creating these interlocking triangles. And I was thinking about if every soul on the planet was one of these triangles, or one of these node points where these triangles meet up, and we were all in that heart space, and we could light up this whole planet, around the planet. Think about this expanding out into a sphere surrounding the whole planet. If we were all in our hearts, how beautiful could this planet light up with this? But this was really fun. It's not, I love all the texture in on this right now. It feels really good. So that's one of the ways that I was connecting with the triangle this past week. Thinking about, you know, and that's the cool thing about having my creative practice. Whenever I'm making art, I'm also thinking about it. So I'm using metacognitive thinking and metacognitive drawing, metacognitive painting. I'm thinking about what I'm wanting to create while I'm creating. And sometimes I will ask a question. It's like, what do I need to know right now? What does this symbol want to show me right now? What does this shape have? What wisdom does it hold for me and my personal journey? Here's another mandala. This mandala is for Tara. Isn't that beautiful? I know everybody on the call has a connection with Tara from our Whitney Freya and her Tara, which I highly recommend if anybody's interested in taking that journey and working with the 21 aspects of Tara. I'll show you some more. This is a fabulous coloring book. It's a coloring book of mandalas, but it's of the divine feminine. And guess what? A big portion of the mandalas in here are triangles. So another thing you can do is find a mandala like this and use it as a visual meditation. Here's the Shri Yantra. It's so beautiful. The goddess of cosmic time. Let's see, where's the other one?
While Lynn's looking through her book, does anyone have any questions for her? She's kind of covered a lot of great information here. Anyone? Okay. Just wanted to check in. Feel free to say in what if what you've learned, or you want to add something.
If you feel inspired to speak, just unmute and join in.
Has anybody been drawing anything that they want to share? Tamara?
It's really interesting. that the whole premise for your gathering is the power of three. And it's interesting because in the last couple months, 333 keeps popping up. And Maisha, I mean, even when we were together, the power of three, it resonates. So the symbolism and the messages of the three. And you said that your in numerology is 3. I'm 9. And so everything is in threes for me. Are you a 9 too, Kim? Yeah,
Yes, I'm a 9 as well. My life path number is a 9.
right. So it's interesting how we were all drawn to this and not knowing and that frequency. And I put out there to be connected with like-minded energy and frequency. And then you go back to sound, and I think sound has been really coming up to me. I've even ordered sound bowls, and I too have I started over the hippie moon, and I think what's coming to me is just helping, tapping into that frequency and helping others on their journey, and and giving them the tools. So this whole thing is beautiful, and thank you, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tamara, for being here. Tamara touched upon the sound and sound frequency. I'm very much connected to sound. I chant mantras off and on all day long, mostly Om, but now recently I've been really connected to Ma. Ma is the frequency of the divine feminine. And I love to sit outside now on Mother Earth and just chant Ma over and over again. And for me, I'm an empath. I can feel her start to flow through me, and it is so incredibly beautiful. Another thing, while I'm chanting Ma, I see myself transform into this beautiful tree. So the tree of life within me, just her energy comes up from me and comes out the top in this beautiful tree branching out, and then radiates down around, creating this tube toroidal field with me in the tree in the middle of it. And it is just, I can see all of the branches, the leaves coming out, and then flowers. It's just chanting Ma, and is so profoundly beautiful and transformative. I recommend it highly. Connect to the divine feminine. She's rising on the planet right now, and she needs us all to sing for her again and connect to her deeply, deeply. Yeah, I don't, within the heart chakra itself, we all have a beautiful sacred flame, and it was the divine spark, but now it's a flame. It's grown after all of the energy that's been coming into the planet recently. One of the intuitives that I meditate with on a daily basis in our meditation group, through the last, we had very profound activations through the full moons that we've had and other cosmic dispensations from the sun. That flame, that spark is now a flame that is the size of our fist. And within that flame is the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the divine child, which is us. Those three energies come together to create the divine spark within us. And that's why I wanted you to place your hands on your heart to remind you that you are a child of the divine. You are a child of God, and you are endowed with those creator gifts to be able to create beautifully the life that you want for yourself, the life that you want for humanity. And by connecting to that heart space, chanting Om or chanting Ma, you're connecting deeply to those profound energies of creation. Now, with the triangle that I'm presenting today is just the foundation for what Kim and Mary are going to add on top of it as a visual. And this is just one way of connecting to the creator being that you are and radiating out from your heart those energies to add to your manifestations, you know. Kim's symbol and Mary's symbol just build upon it so that it creates this beautiful container that blossoms. Um, yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? Mary, do you have something?
I just wanted to say, I love the way when you were talking about the energy, the three energies coming together and building and creating this larger flame and the divine
Yes.
feminine, like all of that. And then I just immediately went back to how it's manifested physically with the three of us coming together. And if we look at each other spiritually, and in some ways physically, I guess, we do represent those three stages of life. And it's just fascinating. Like every time we speak about the power of three, more aspects of that infinite power seem to surface and bubble out and start to radiate again. And I'm like, I get all excited. So
Well,
anyway,
it's funny, even down to 3 different time zones. You know, we're sitting there talking. It's like, yeah, the power of 3. It's like all of a sudden, like everything just fit. It's like, do you realize we're all in 3 different time zones? So we've pretty much got North America covered, right? And for our friends in different countries, you know, I know that we've got Janet here with us. That's wonderful. She's from England.
hi, Janet.
Hi, Janet. And hello, everyone that's here. I can name you all. I know all of your lovely faces. But we have some people that we went through the coaching with right here. There's quite a few of us, and then some of the new coaches. So it's really, really exciting. And this 3 energy is just so wonderful. And when Lynn was talking, I don't know, I was doodling and just doing sort of that automatic drawing instead of automatic writing, just letting it flow while she was discussing. And she brought up the tree of life, right? And I drew that on the triangles on the prior page. It just, okay, I have to draw this, you know, it just like, wow. And then it had 3 big branches, you know, and it's just one of those things that when you just get into it and you just let it flow and you don't really worry about product, just the process, it just, that energy connects us all as far as all of us together here. Our energy is mingling for this for the power of 3, right? So, and right now there are what, 9 people on?
Yeah, I
So that's
just
pretty
counted
cool.
them. I
Yeah.
counted 9 and I went, oh, 3 times
So,
3.
yeah. So we're multiplying in the number of 3, which I think is pretty exciting. And I was wondering if that was going to happen. And I thought it was pretty cool when Mary even right down to the last detail of this event, like the code to come in. Well, we're going to use 333, of course, right? And how many of you,
Anything else?
yeah, how many of you have had that number come up? 333 or 111. You too, Maisha? Yeah,
Betsy has something she wants to add, I think.
perfect. Please do, Betsy. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to share that I have a guru whose name is Saima, and Ma had recommended that we watch the movie The Matrix. And of course, Neo, who is like the spiritual, you know, he's like the new kid and needs to learn, like Trinity is one of his teachers. And at the very end, Trinity is the one who like brings the love into the space where Neo is able to reincarnate, where he is able to come back to life. And she holds the space of love, and that power of that. And I've heard as well, I know that we're all of different spiritual backgrounds, but the Magdalena energy, Mary Magdalena, who also held love and that space of divine love, just kind of matched for me the two of them, Trinity and then that energy of love. Yeah.
And
That's beautiful.
that is beautiful. And that's on the tarot and in numerology, I'm number 3, which is the Empress, which is the Divine Mother who's holding that space of love for everyone. That's very much why I'm connected to the Shri Yantra for the Divine Goddess. That is so cool, Betsy. Thank you for sharing that. And so who's your guru that you work with?
Her name is Saima, Saimaa.
Okay. And were you,
Saima Lakshmi Devi.
okay, were you here when I was talking about chanting the mantra Ma?
Yes. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So Divine Mother is very much flowing through us all today. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how the name of the Matrix woman was Trinity, the 3, you know?
Kathleen? It's so good to see
I just
you.
wanted to say, Lynn, first of all, you're doing an amazing job. And I literally had chills when you were talking about sitting on the earth and chanting Ma. I also like to chant a lot. I sing a lot. And I have chills talking about it again. That was amazing. And I truly believe that the divine feminine is rising. And then I just wanted to share with you guys this rock. I'm in Bandon. I'm kind of on a little sojourn. I don't know if you can see it. That I got pulled to in this shop. And I feel like this is like the tree of life coming up out of the lotus flower. Mm-hmm. And if you look really close, there's like a little image of a butterfly on the stem of the tree of life. Sorry, did I?
It's beautiful.
Isn't it awesome?
Yes.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you.
That's my symbol, the butterfly. And that was the symbol that I had before I came. I went outside before this Zoom and I was a little anxious because I haven't done too many. And that was what flew by for me was a tiger swallowtail butterfly. It is a beautiful message for me for 2 reasons. When I finished Creatively Fit Coach training, my first 3-part video series was the transformation of the butterfly. It was a whole series on that. And it was just showing me that I'm ready to fly. I'm already out of the cocoon. I'm ready to fly. But the other part is that it was a tiger swallowtail, which connects me to, I'm very connected to Ma Durga, the divine goddess. And so she rides a tiger. And this is her, I wear this mala every day when I meditate. And she's a goddess. She's a fierce goddess, a warrior goddess. And so she was here giving me strength. And I was very, very happy and to see that. And that's another point I want to bring up is that the universe is always speaking to us. And by stopping and breathing and tuning in, it helps us to stop, look, and listen. I had this come through last night that everybody just needs to stop, look, and listen. And I'm cracking up because guess what? You guys, I used to teach preschool. And that was one of the things that we were teaching all the kids. You have to stop, look, and listen, watch for traffic, right? But now I'm an adult and I'm teaching Creatively Fit and I'm asking everybody to stop, look, and listen for the signs of the universe because they're everywhere. But if you're so tapped in or plugged into your phone or plugged into any other device or too wrapped up in drama, you're going to miss it. Because the universe speaks to us so subtly, so beautifully. It's exquisite. I can't tell you how many times that it has brought tears of joy and bliss to me to see how exquisitely beautiful these messages come through. For me, I'm going to get a little personal here, but this last week has been a really, really challenging week for me, and creativity has helped me to really navigate through it. It's the anniversary of the passing of my niece who died from brain cancer. Goodness gracious. She was only 8 years old. And but she speaks to us. I see her every year. She comes to me as a ladybug because the ladybug was her special bug. And my sister and I will see ladybugs and we honor her. And my mom and dad honor her by releasing thousands of ladybugs every year on her birthday and on her passing. So those loved ones that have crossed over are also spirit, and they're also speaking to us. So it's not just, your higher self or source, but it's all of our loved ones. When they're in that spirit form, they're speaking to us as well. Look for the signs. So yeah, I'm gonna say I should make a funny little like video with music to stop, look, and listen for adults.
I mean, it should be your next course.
It could be. There it is. That's my next course. Thank you,
Stop,
Kim.
look, and listen, love it.
Yeah.
Sign
Oh,
me up.
so I have two courses that I'm working on. Stop, look, and listen. And the other one is that we are all alchemists and architects. So you are an alchemist and an architect of the new world, of your new life. And that whenever all of that old crap is coming up, you have the ability to transform it, transmute it, so that you can clear a path and create the new world with a new foundational brick, right? And for me, my foundational brick is the triangle or a pyramid, because it's the strongest structure of the universe. Remember, up until now, I'm going to say up until now, because I also know that there are levels of truth within the universe, and what we understand now may be our highest level of understanding. But remember that there is another, always an expansion of another level of truth upon another level of truth. So no matter where you are on your journey of self-discovery or transformation, there's going to be another unfolding, another, kind of going into the chrysalis and coming out as a butterfly again, a rebirth, all of these symbols to another awakening of a new level of awareness for yourself. And so we're always in this constant state of growth and transformation. And how can we have more fun doing it? And how can we have a better understanding of it? Because I do believe that knowledge is power. And if we can understand what's happening, why am I here on earth, and how can I navigate this with more grace and ease, then we're going to do so and create better for ourselves and the planet and all. And that's where Creatively Fit comes back in again, is that's another one of those tools in the toolbox to help you to navigate with more grace and ease through your journey. Um, does anybody else have any questions? Because I'm going through some pretty big stuff here. But I think all of you guys here on the call right now live are pretty much tapped in and tuned into this. So
I love that you're here to offer us all the triangle as our foundation.
and I believe that with every positive act or an act of love that we do in our daily life, be it the smallest little thing of smiling at someone that you're in the grocery store, that is laying a foundational brick for the new earth, the new paradigm, our new world. And if everybody could start to do that a little bit and become aware of it, because I think everybody thinks that, oh, I'm not really contributing that much. But yes, your smile does. When you're in the store smiling at somebody, you don't know how rough of a time that one person, they needed that smile, and that smile might have given them hope that things aren't as bad, because somebody does see me and that I matter, right?
Yeah. Every time we do something that is based in love, like offering a smile or support to a stranger or opening a door for someone, even those small gestures are all from the base of love. And every time we do that, we radiate love out to the world. So how can that not be a positive effect on every sentient being, on every being?
Another thing is that we can all kind of get sucked in to the media or the drama that gets played out on that, because it wants to just kind of mess with your head and believe that the world is going to hell in a handbasket, right? But it's not. If you walk out your door and you go about your neighborhood, the majority of the people in your city, your town, your hamlet are actually going about their day, doing the best that they can in a loving manner. So love is the predominant frequency on the planet right now. It is there, but if our overstimulated nervous systems are so jacked up and so in that mode of fear that you can't see the love that's already here because you've had so much trauma that hasn't been processed yet in your body. Um, right now, I'm kind of speaking from the part of healing and how much creativity can help you to process those unprocessed pain and trauma that's been held in the body, along with breath work. Your combination of doing your breath work and your artwork, you can have profound transformation in your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies. That's I've been trained in pranic healing, and I don't practice pranic healing on a one-on-one basis anymore with anybody. I work more globally, energetically with transmuting energies and sending light to the through the grid and through the planet. Um, but I understand, how we're like Swiffer sweepers, and we're walking through our day. Our energy bodies pick up some of those negative thought energies and vibrations. And it's important to clean it because we can get kind of fuzzy in our head, and what we think is our thought is not really our thought, but it's a collective thought that's been kind of floating around. So taking a saltwater bath, you know, swimming in salt water, um, chanting om, um, definitely breath work. These are things that can clear your energy body out so that you can be more in alignment and navigating with more grace and ease. And also asking for any energetic cords, etheric cords attached to your energy body to be cut off daily throughout the day. For me personally, I'm an empath, and so I can take on energy that is really intense for me. And I realize I'm clearing for the whole collective. So Matt Kahn is an empath, and he posted this to remind us. I've taken several classes with him, his Angel Academy. He has this little mantra, and he says, as empaths, we need to say it throughout the day, several times a day. May all the energy that I am clearing for the collective be cleared out of my energy field now, transmuted back to light, and returned to source now for the highest good of all. And I feel that come out of my body, and I feel like this sense of okay, that wasn't really my thought or my emotion I was feeling. That was the collective coming through me. And that's how we can be even more profound anchors of light on the planet, is when we know that, every single person on the planet actually is adding to the light of the world or adding to the discord of the world, and that we have a conscious choice to be either co-creators or, adding to more of the chaos,
Lynn,
yes.
we have a really good question here. Betsy put into
Yeah.
the chat, and she's asking you, can you speak further into using creative practice for clearing trauma?
Mm-hmm.
I think you just talked about clearing, some really good techniques for clearing, but do you have any specific things around like traumatic?
For me, clearing it, like clearing trauma, is actually connecting to that aspect of me that was traumatized. So let's say that I, had an issue when I was a child, right? And for most people, the first people that you work with as a creatively fit coach is that you're going to actually come up against the inner child that was told, you're not an artist, you don't have creative abilities, why are you doing this? So let's use that as an example. You, as the adult that you are right now, connect to that wounded child that thinks it's not an artist, and you write that part of yourself a letter on your canvas if you want. I love you, and I see that you are an artist, and that you go through all of the things. You tell yourself the things that you needed to hear that weren't being told to you. You love yourself. Whenever any kind of trauma that comes up in your body, any kind of past memory that comes up, once again, I'll use Matt Kahn's love revolution mantra is, I love you. You put your hands on your heart and you say, I love you to yourself. And you continue to repeat it, because that's just the aspect of you that wasn't loved, that wasn't cared for, didn't receive the attention that it needed. Because those people that inflicted the pain, hurt people. They're probably hurting more than you have ever hurted, and they were hurting you, and they were creating from discord. They didn't understand. And so if you can actually love yourself to the point, I'm not asking you to forgive them yet, but if you can love yourself first to the point where you feel good about you, then maybe in time you can send the love to that person and say, may all people who have hurt me or any other person on the planet, may they be blessed with love and light and healing, so that they no longer can inflict pain on anybody else. You know, but you can't just jump there. If you're in pain, you can't just jump there. So if you're writing that letter to yourself and healing and taking that time, and it doesn't always happen so quickly. It may come up and revisit you, but take that into your creative practice, and then allow that aspect of you that was wounded to choose the colors, to choose the materials, to choose the time, to choose to dance, to choose the music that you listen to, all of it, and say, you're welcome here. I welcome that aspect of me here, and I am caring for you now. You actually turn and parent yourself.
I love that. And Kathy asked, could you repeat the energy clearing mantra? And if you would, maybe we could type it into the chat that you had, because it's such a lovely mantra.
I was just looking for that to copy, and I haven't found it yet. So yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was in one of the Angel Academy classes that I took with him, but I've seen him very rarely post it. But it's, may all the energy that I am clearing for the collective be cleared out of my energy field, transmuted back to light, and return to source now for the highest good of all. And if you want, you can add, and so it is at the end, or so be it. And then the other thing he says after that, I am the light I am. I am the light I am. And you continue to repeat that, reminding yourself that you are the light of God, the divine flame, the three aspects of creator being, Father, Mother, Child as one within you and your heart flame, right here. Okay. These are powerful tools that I use on a daily basis. Creativity, clearing my energy field, and mantra chanting.
And when you were saying that, the visual of the another symbol came, and we've talked about this, Lynn, is the fleur-de-lis, and that is the heart flame.
That is your sacred heart flame.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. These symbols are tucked everywhere. All of this sacred geometry is inside of us, and it's trying to point you in the direction. It's not going to spill it out for you, but it's just like a little, I mean,
it's like the breadcrumbs.
Yes. Well, didn't you, when you were younger, or aren't we all drawn to these things, but we don't understand why we're drawn to these things? For me, it just points to past lives for me, this infinite wisdom that we're carrying within the cells of our bodies is just like, profound. So yeah, and connections to certain places on the planet, like Egypt, or certain cultures on the planet, because I think those are ancient memories that we have of some of the past lives that we've had, and the wisdom that we're carrying. So if we can connect to that wisdom, and then use that wisdom now to be better creators, co-creators, we could make some major transformation on the planet right now. we're poised for some amazing things, I think.
Another thing that came to me while you were talking, I love how imagery just kind of, or, ideas come when you speak, because all of our energy is melding. The idea of us being life artists and teaching creativity. When Betsy brought up Trinity right from the movie, and then you just brought up all that beautiful healing energy, the idea of creating triptychs. Like when I was young, I was attracted to the triptych, which is a 3-panel piece of art, generally something that was of religious in nature. And it wasn't necessarily the religious part I was interested in. It was the fact that they had 3 really cool pictures side by side that was one image right across the 3 panels. I thought that's a really interesting power of 3 connection there. And most of it was about Mary Magdalene, right back to what Betsy and you and sort of that mother goddess energy, right? Pretty cool.
I just had a lucid dream of Mary Magdalene and all of these geometric shapes that came like really downloading in the other day. I've been working with her a lot, but yeah. And that's funny because I had just got 3 canvases because I was just gonna do something just really intuitive and loose. I wasn't gonna try any structure. I just wanted to make 3 just cohesive pieces. Like, oh my gosh, that's cool. That's funny.
There's your
There
triptych.
you go. We
Yeah.
always have these connections.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I love your fabric of reality back there. Were you using markers on there, Kim?
Yes, I started because you inspired me with your other with your image there, and so I just started drawing the grid and all of the colors and everything, and then the male and female and the mandala, and I put in the strength, balance, and harmony, and then there's the triangle pointing to unity, right? I mean, it just sort of all flowed through, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I just kept like automatic drawing while you were talking, and it all just flows right through. So it's pretty cool.
Mary, were you creating too?
I was, and it was funny. I started to see an eye come out of the I'm on wood. So I saw an eye coming out of the wood after playing around with it for a while, just as you started talking about the third eye. So well, it's got to come out. So anyway.
Oh, cool. Let's see. Look at all these. Beautiful.
Oh, look at everybody's creations.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've been doodling
Camera, that was gorgeous.
or anything, share, please.
What else came up when you just did that, Mary, and you brought the eye up? And then I'm thinking about the pyramid. What is on the money, right?
Yeah, the capstone. I was just gonna say that the capstone. On top of the
What is
pyramid.
on the money? What is that?
On the US currency, on the back of all the bills,
Yes.
is the all-knowing eye in the pyramid.
Mhm.
Oh,
On both of my pictures, I have the eye. And so it's interesting. Yeah, you drew the eye and I connected with the eye. But it's almost as if the moon energy, I don't know if you see it, but
Oh,
it's just
beautiful.
kind of
beautiful.
with
And you have the female, the softness of the female energy, and then you've got the heart, the rigidness of the male energy there too.
yeah, I don't know. I guess also the lotus energy, it's really coming out of the mud. And I've just started working on this one, but it's like, with the lotus in this, and then the eye is down here again with but yet the water, it's like releasing at the bottom of this energy. And then the 8,
Mhm.
the
Infinity.
That is a very powerful symbol for clearing, connecting the infinity sign to the sun, into your heart, into the earth, and back up again. And then chanting Om while you're running that rainbow light through that is another great way to clear your energy field and connect to Mother Earth and Father Sun, connecting in the middle. Yeah.
that's been my message is nature. You've got to, ground, and it's really important right now with what's going on of all this downloading of major energy.
Mhm.
Right.
And
How many of you have slept, have been just in the last week needed to get a ton of sleep? Anybody?
the last 2 nights for me have been like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I was awake like all night because of the
Yeah.
moon.
Yeah.
I don't really sleep too well during the full moon, like Mary and I have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those times is when I always have an art journal next to my bed, because for me, I have a lot of lucid dreaming. I get lots of downloads and images in the middle of the night. If I'm not sleeping, I'm like laying in my bed, focusing on my third eye and connecting and opening up. But I always have like multiple art journals and writing utensils by my bed, because I have these image and they come through, and I will also have like a phrase, a word that I have to write it down, and I don't always understand what they mean. But here's the thing about receiving those symbols is not to discredit them. File them away in a filing cabinet, because they're like puzzle pieces, and they have, and time has to kind of unfold a little bit. Like last year during my Creatively Fit Coach training, I had all of these images that I was painting, and when I would receive them complete in my head, now I might not have had the artistic mastery to actually, you know, paint them to the way that I saw them, but that's not the point. The
Mhm.
point is to actually get the energy on the paper, and you are actually creating this really strong link with your intuition by saying, yes, I acknowledge that I saw that. I received it. I'm now grounding it onto my paper. I'm receiving the download, the information, and you're actually creating strength in your abilities to be intuitive and receive that information. And now those things that I painted last year or in my journal are now, I'm like, oh, that's why I needed to paint that, or that's what I was connecting to. Like all of these pieces came in like all at once within a week's time, and I'm like, whoa. So never discredit any of it. Just keep a journal, keep writing it, and it'll all come together. It's but that's just over years of me, doing it, it
And
takes time.
when you get those symbols and you get that aha moment where you know what they are, what they stand for, whether it be 6 months or 2 minutes or a year from then, write down what it means. So you start to create your own vocabulary of symbolism, right? So
Yes.
you know when you're receiving, you understand it. It's like, oh, when I see the butterfly, this is what it's meant in the past for me this many times. Or when I see a pyramid, or whatever it is that you're seeing a lot of, and how you're relating it and what you're feeling with those things mean, write it down. Like create your own visual sort of symbolic dictionary, right? And that's sort of like your wisdom of your soul talking to you, and then you understand it better.
That
I
is a
found that's been
very
very
good
helpful.
point, because the butterfly for me will mean something different than what it means for Kim, because I have my own life experiences, my own memories, my own energy around it. And Source is so, so beautiful of speaking to you as the soul personally, because this is your journey.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know we're at the top of the hour and it's just flown, right? Can you
Oh my
believe it?
goodness.
Does anyone want to share their artwork or have any comments or anything they'd like to discuss, or do you just want to keep going? How's everyone feeling?
Can I make a request that if any artwork, anything comes out of this at all, that you share it with either Lynn, share it with Lynn on her page, and
Great
maybe
idea.
she can maybe share it with us, or we'll just check in on it, or I think it would be incredible, and we'll just all bear witness to each other and for each other
That'd be
as
cool.
we enter
The
this
power
power
of three creative journal, right?
Yeah, that'd be
This Sunday energy is really nice, and I can't thank you enough for this. This was perfectly and divinely orchestrated. So I thank you, Lynn.
You're
I
welcome.
love everyone's energy. It's wonderful. Thank you.
yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Lynn.
Absolutely.
Okay, then we're going to wish everybody a very happy Sunday. And thank you for joining us and participating in our Power of Three and turn it into Power of Three times threes. We have
Power of
9
9.
here. Yeah. And we'll see you again. I think June 13th is our next, will be our part 2. So we'll make sure we post that. And I'll be introducing the Triquerta, which is also known as the Trinity, the beginning of the Trinity knot in Celtic symbolism. And we're going to use Lynn's beautiful foundation and strength, and then start to flower and bloom. And that's where we'll go. And then our third part, Kim will be bringing it home with her radiant beauty.
Of yes, of the triple spiral. So
Mhm.
spiraling out and flourishing. So yeah, so thank you for joining us. Please join us again. And you know, you never know, this may become a every 3 weeks a Sunday get together just to check in on good energy and I don't know, just kind of bathe in each other's beauty, right?
Yep.
I love that.
Mhm.
Strengthen this divine femininity, feminine energy, and send it to the world. So thank you all. Wish you all the very best, and we'll see you again very soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.